Tēnā koutou katoa. Kia ora everybody, and welcome into another week of Whale Watch Weekly Updates. For those of you that don't know, my name is Josh, and I'll be running you through some of the updates that we've had throughout the week here at Whale Watch Kaikoura. We've had a very good week here. The weather has been outstanding all last week, just no wind at all, beautiful sunshine and big frost in the morning. So let's go right back to the 25th of July, which was last Friday, and on that day we went out 2 times that day. So our first tour departed at 10:30 a.m. and on that tour we had 3 encounters with our semi-resident whale Mati Mati. We got to see another semi-resident whale being Lazarus. Also got to see this man himself on the screen, Aoraki, and got to see some New Zealand fur seals, the shy mollymawk albatross, and also some Cape petrels. So what a way to start off the Whale Watch Weekly Updates. Second tour for Friday the 25th at 1:15. They went out and they also seen Aoraki. They got to see a semi-resident whale that I have not told anyone about yet, and that there is Spike. They also seen Lazarus and a humpback whale. Also got some Hector dolphins, Tutu Kurai also, they are known as. And then seen some New Zealand fur seals, the shy mollymawk albatross, Cape petrel, the Hudson's shearwaters, the sooty shearwaters, and also the blackback and red bull gull. Moving on to the 26th of July, which is Saturday, we had a very busy day. We had 3 tours on for this day. So the first tour went out at 7:15 a.m. 7:45 departure. And on this tour, we seen our semi-resident whale Mati Mati. Got 2 encounters with him actually. Got to see a humpback whale, a big pot of dusky dolphins, the shy mollymawk albatross, some Hutton shearwaters, the white-fronted terns, and Kauahi's favourite, the blackback and red bull gulls. The next tour for Saturday was at 10:30, and on that tour we seen Mati Mati. We got to see our semi-resident whale himself, Tiaki. Got 2 encounters with 2 different individual humpback whales, a big pot of dusky dolphins, some New Zealand fur seals, the shy mollymawk albatross, the white-fronted terns, and once again the blackback and red bull gulls. And then the last tour for that day was at 1:15 in the afternoon, and on that tour we had 2 encounters with Tiaki himself. We also got to see 2 different individual humpback whales once again. Got some Hector dolphins, got to see some New Zealand fur seals, the shy mollymawk albatross, and the blackback and red bull gull. Moving on to Sunday the 27th of July, had another day with 3 tours, and on this day 7:45 in the morning we went out and we got to see Spike once again. We got to see Mati Mati. We had 3 encounters with 3 different individual humpback whales. Got to see a large pot of dusky dolphins and some blackback and red bull gulls. The second tour on for Sunday the 27th was at 10:30 a.m. and on that tour we got to see our semi-resident whale being Marama. Here we go. We also got to see Spike. We also got to see Tiaki once again. So Tiaki is still hanging around in the Kaikoura Canyon here, which is good to see. We got to see some dusky dolphins and also the shy mollymawk albatross. And then the last tour for Sunday the 27th, we got to see Tiaki. We had 2 encounters with Mati Mati. Got a big pot of dusky dolphins once again. Got to see some New Zealand fur seals, the shy mollymawk albatross, some Cape petrels, and the blackback and red bull gull. Then the 28th of July, which was Monday. We had a very good day this day. So, the first tour went out at 10:30. We had 2 tours for this day. And the first tour seen Mati Mati. They also seen Spike. They also seen some New Zealand fur seals. And also got to see the shy Mollymawk albatross and Cape petrels. And then in the afternoon at 1:15, they went out and they seen Mati Mati. They got to see a humpback whale that is known to us as Scratchy. And they also got to see a large pot of dusky dolphins, some New Zealand fur seals, the shy Mollymawk albatross, the Cape petrel, some Hudson shearwaters, and the blackback and red ball gull. So you're probably wondering why I said this day was good, and you probably heard me read out the updates there, and you're probably thinking, oh, the other tours, they've seen more. Yes, that is correct, but what you don't know is for this day, Scratchy, the humpback whale, we got him doing this right next to our boat for about 3 to 4 hours. This guy here was just out of control with his breaches all afternoon. We were out there. So this is on a tour. This was taken from one of our researchers. So this is an awesome photo, and take my hat off to you guys for capturing this, especially with our other vessel in the background. This is Scratchy here, being as playful as anything, and a lot of passengers got to see this, and also some crew members. So I'll just share a couple of photos with you guys of these humpback whales. This humpback whale breaching. This is another one from the researchers. So the humpback whales, they're actually the most common whale to breach. Now they don't do it every day. They may do, but we don't see it too often. These guys here, when they pass or migrate through here in Kaikoura, or when we do get them here, quite often we do see them breach. But as I was saying, it's not every day. Or it's not their usual behaviour, I should say. So there's some very lucky customers on our tour. Sorry, having a bit of trouble. And here's another photo here of Scratchy just breaching away. So as you can see, he is quite dark, and looking at the whale himself, you can tell why we call him Scratchy. You can see all the marks all over him. Now these whales here, the humpback whale, it is a baleen whale. These whales here actually have the largest pectoral fins. Pectoral fins are these fins here on the side of their body. Now I was reading the other day that these pectoral fins can actually grow up to 1/3 of the length of their body. So that is quite impressive. Now with the humpback whales, grow up to a length of roughly about 16 meters. And because it is a baleen whale, these whales here, the females, grow bigger than the males. Oh, kia ora HM, I see you just commented down there. Love these updates. Awesome, welcome in, and I'm glad you're in here. Thank you for your feedback. So this here was Monday, ladies and gentlemen, a very special day for us out on the ocean. So moving on to, Tuesday was cancelled due to the weather. The weather was not our best friend that day. But Wednesday, the 30th of July, we had 3 tours on for this day. It's good to see us still being quite busy throughout our winter months, coming out and getting a few people out there to view all of the marine life that we get to see. So the first tour left at 7:45 a.m. and on that tour they had 2 encounters with Mati Mati. They got to see a large pot of dusky dolphins. They also got to see the northern royal albatross. They seen the shy and the black-browed Mollymawk albatross, some Cape petrels, some northern giant petrels, westland petrels, fairy prions, white-fronted terns, the spotted shag, an Australasian gannet, and the blackback and red ball gulls. So if you are a bird lover and you were on that tour, you would have loved that tour to pieces, seeing so many different varieties of seabirds. The second tour for Wednesday, the 30th of July, we went out at 10:30 And on that tour, we've seen our semi-resident whale, Lazarus. We also got to see the northern and southern royal albatross, 3.5 metre wingspan, but also one of the heaviest oceanic birds in flight today, roughly about 10 to 12 kilograms. They got to see the shy mollymawk albatross, a wingspan of about 2.5 metres. Still quite a large wingspan, but slightly smaller than the Gibson, Swanderine, the northern and southern royal. They also got to see the Cape, the northern giant and the Westland petrels. They got to see some more fairy prions and also the blackback and red ball gull. Then the last tour for Wednesday the 30th was at 1:15, and on this tour they had 2 encounters with mati mati. They got to see some dusky dolphins, a northern royal albatross, a shy mollymawk albatross, got to see the Cape, the northern giant and the Westland petrel, some Hudson shearwaters, and also the blackback and red ball gull. And then unfortunately today, ladies and gentlemen, we were cancelled due to a couple of reasons. It was quite rough out there, but also because of that tsunami alert as well. A huge earthquake overseas near Russia yesterday, 8.8 magnitude I believe. So yeah, I hope everyone's all doing well over that part of the world and anywhere else that got damaged, whether it was the earthquake or tsunami. So that's our updates that we have for this past week. But what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to show you a presentation right now about the Kaikoura Canyon. Now, everybody says, why do we get so many whales and dolphins and sharks and everything here? Yes, it is because of the food, but what attracts the food is what lives beneath us. So, there's only 3 places in the world that have canyon systems so close to the coastline, and Kaikoura is actually one of them. Now, scientists, they believe that the Kaikoura Canyon is one of the most productive canyons in the world. With other places in the world, you have to travel hours, if not days, to access these canyons. Here in Kaikoura, we only have to travel minutes. From the South Bay Marina to the closest point, it is only about 3.5 to 4 nautical miles, which is roughly about 5 minutes travel, 10 minutes maybe. But there's a place about 20 minutes south of the Kaikoura Peninsula called Goose Bay. Now, Goose Bay, if you go straight off the coastline there, about 1 nautical mile, it'll drop off into 1,000 metres of water. Anybody that's familiar with the Auckland Sky Tower, this is it here. No, it is not down in the canyon. This is just trying to give you a comparison of the depth. So if we were to stack roughly about 5 Auckland Sky Towers on top of each other, it would just break the surface of the ocean at its deepest point in the canyon. Average depth is 1,000 metres in this canyon. Deepest point, it used to be 1,600 metres, but since 2016, when we had our 7.9 magnitude earthquake here, the canyon changed. And so the deepest point is roughly about 1,300 to 1,400 metres. So what happens right now? We're going to fill this canyon back up with water and take a look at the different species of marine life that live at the bottom and work our way back up towards the top or towards the surface of the ocean. So for those of you that aren't aware, 300 metres below the surface of the ocean there is no sunlight whatsoever. So sperm whales, they live roughly about 90% of their life in the darkness, but other marine life, they live 100% of their life in the darkness. Some fish do produce their own lighting, such as jellyfish and also squid. And all those other colours that you can see up there, it is known as bioluminescence. Sorry, I struggle to say that word sometimes. Some sharks can be found deep down in the canyon. So this shark here is known as the plunket shark, or the black shark. This is part of the sperm whale's diet. Some eels can be found deep down in the canyon, just roaming around. Now coming up on the screen is the Architeuthis ducks, or the giant squid. The giant squid, they grow up to a length of roughly about 12 metres, maybe a bit longer, but they have the largest eye out of any creature or mammal on Earth, same size as a soccer ball or a very large dinner plate. This large school of fish on the screen right now is known to us as hoki. This is New Zealand's most exported fish. If you have been to McDonald's and you had a fish fillet burger, that is your fillets. This is hapoka or groper, very famous here in Kaikoura for the winter time. Usually when we get our first drop of snow on the mountains, most commercial fishermen will start catching that type of fish in their nets. And now we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of arrow-headed squid. Arrow-headed squid only grow to a maximum length of about 30 centimetres, so roughly about 1 foot. You may know that better as calamari or squid rings. Jaws himself has been spotted out in the Kaikoura Canyon quite a few times. The great white shark. These dolphins here are the world's most smallest and shyest dolphin. They are only found here in Aotearoa or New Zealand. They are known as the Hector's dolphin. Tutu maire kurai, special ocean dweller. And then here comes the number one apex predator of the ocean, the famous orca or killer whales. They are not a whale, they are the world's largest dolphin. They only get their name killer whales because they're the only thing in the water to kill whales. And that's a school of kingfish getting chased by the fastest shark in the water today, known as the mako shark. And here come the humpback whales coming through and feeding on a very large school of krill. So that's how they do their filter feeding. Come in with their mouth open, they'll get a big mouthful of water and krill, and then they actually use their tongue to push all of the water out, and then all of the krill will actually stick to their baling plates. But coming up on the screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, is the largest creature ever to be recorded on planet Earth, and it is the blue whale. Largest blue whale to be recorded by man was a female. She measured in over 33 metres long, and she weighed over 220 tonne. A Volkswagen car could fit inside the heart of that blue whale. A human could fit inside the heart arteries, and the tongue of that blue whale weighed exactly the same as an African elephant, which was 5 tonne. So there's some pretty impressive stats there for a blue whale. So ladies and gentlemen, that there was the Kaikoura Canyon, and that there is why we are so lucky here in Kaikoura to see so many different species of whales and dolphins, and also so many different seabirds. Cool, so that's all I actually have time for tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed this week's episode of Whale Watch Weekly Updates. For anybody that is new, sorry, I've just seen your comment there, Stephen. Love the work. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Love it how you guys are commenting and whatnot. I'll be back here next week, same time. If you live in New Zealand, 6 p.m. on a Thursday night. If you are new here, I will continue this throughout the year at Thursday, 6 p.m. However, when we do start to get much more busier here, I will be doing multiple of these a week. But I'm glad that you guys come in. You know, feel free to ask, talk to me throughout the chat or throughout the live here. I've got the chat right next to me just on another screen, and I will, any questions that you ask, I will read them and try and answer them for you. If not, if I don't know the answer, just give me a week, and then I'll come back to you next week with the answer, okay? However, guys, I hope everybody enjoyed this week's episode of the Whale Watch Weekly Updates. Don't forget, every Thursday I will be doing these. One sec. I have forgot something. My bad. It's the weather and the sea conditions for the next couple of days. So, I will bring up the weather forecast. Here we go. Today wasn't a very nice day here, but a wind from the south. But Friday, 25 knots of southwest, easing to southerly 15 knots in the afternoon, rough sea easing. That strong current is that tsunami warning. Horizon to 4 metres, northeast swell 1 metre. Yeah, so it doesn't look very nice out there, but we'll see what happens. However, Saturday 15 knots, horizon to 25 knots in the afternoon, sea becoming rough. And then Sunday 25 knots easing. Yeah, so looks like tomorrow might be sort of touch and go. It does settle down a bit on Saturday, but then the afternoon the wind comes back up, which may cause it to be quite rough. And then Sunday afternoon looks like it eases down, and then Monday actually looks quite good. So, as I was explaining what this here is, this is our weather prediction model, and this is a 2-day lookout for our tours. So tomorrow being the 1st of August, jeepers, this year is going quick. We're already up to the 8th month. Holy. Okay, so this inside column here, for those of you that don't know, this is inshore. And then this column over here on the right hand side, this is offshore. So as you can see, it's like a traffic light system. Red is no-go, orange is possibly, and green is we should be good to go. So our tours for tomorrow, we actually have an early tour tomorrow at 7:45. So inshore, it looks quite nice. However, if the whales are offshore, it might be quite bumpy out there. And then the next tour will be at 10:30 tomorrow. So it looks like it will be quite rough by that time. So a high chance that we may cancel. And then the tour after that will be at 1:15 in the afternoon. So looking at this, going off this, it looks like we may sail early in the morning, but the 2 tours after that we may not go anywhere. However, if we move on to Saturday, the 2nd of August, it looks like we've got a beautiful day set for us that day. So our captains and also our staff members will be keeping an eye on this. They'll be actually checking out the sea, checking the Met service, and also looking at swell map as well, just to get the best indication of what's going on out there. Okay guys, so sorry about that, I forgot to actually mention the weather and the sea conditions, but yeah, I'm glad I got it out. So for those of you that are new in here, my name is Josh and I do these weekly at 6 PM New Zealand time every Thursday. So next week, Thursday, 6 PM, come back in and I'll give you an update of what we've seen from Friday right through till next Thursday. However, I hope everybody has a beautiful weekend this weekend. Take care of yourselves and we will see you next Thursday night. Mā te wā.